Hey, yesterday, Warsaw 2023 was fought, and this will be my recap of the event. Um, I did not have time to do like short video updates during the event itself because I was running a narrative event myself during the day. But let's go and see what we can find. Right. So Warsaw 2023. It was a 1,000-point event. It used the Jugger pack. It was single generic reinforced platoon. It had 34 players in the end. They had a few dropouts due to illness, I guess. Just the times we live in. And it ran for 3 games. And I will make a link in the doobly-doo. The description of this video where you can go and watch everything, see the videos, see the matchups and everything. Now, the top 5 were Barry with his Japanese hordes and stewards. Number 2 was Simon with a German Panther Death Star. We're going to have to go and watch that one because that was unexpected. Then we had Merrick with his British mixed bag, Philip with his Canadian mixed bag, and Peter with his German Schützen spam list. So what I wanted to do right now is I wanted to go and show you the lists. So the first one we had, that was Barry, which is this list. So we had this Japanese 14 order dice, bamboo spears and Kempertai and double militia and mortar, suicide, anti-tanks, veteran, a howitzer, an armored car, and 2 captured stewards. So a very, very, very strong Japanese list, and of course it ended up being the winner at the event. So really, really good. Then we had Simon, who was for me, the major surprise. As I was following along on the day, I had a few minutes of my own day to just go in and check the results, and I was continually surprised by how well some of the Death Star lists were doing, because I had thought that the Death Star lists don't really work, but in Poland and the Polish meta, they do. So here is Simon's list, and he came second, which is amazing. It's a 9 order dice list, a 9 order dice list. Germans coming second. He had brought a veteran lieutenant with an extra man, Waffen SS with Panzerfausts, Grenadiers with Panzerfausts, Sniper team, medium artillery, ADRAD, very good, a Panther, which, because you get a lot of points reduction in the Jugger pack, is more worth it, but it's still very, very expensive. Super heavy anti-tank gun, 2 MGs, and a truck. That this army did well really, really speaks to the skill of the player. Simon is definitely very good at what he does. I would love to hear from Simon. If you watch this, please let me know what you did and how you made this work, because I cannot make Death Stars work, and you clearly did. So let me go check who was third. There we go. That was Merrick. So let's go and see if we can find Merrick's list. I have already talked about this list before, I think. There, Merrick Zelinsky. Here we go. Right, 14 order dice, British reinforced. So second lieutenant tax, guards squad, 10 men with the free LMG. We have an engineer section with a flamethrower, paratroopers with some machine gun, Indians with free LMG, medium mortar team, sniper team, light arty, airborne reconnaissance jeep. If you don't know these, they're really good. 2 trucks and Chaffee and light arty and Ducker Stewart. So a very good list with a lot of mobility in it. Not the strongest infantry, I guess, but they are still veterans. They can do work. And again, this speaks to Merrick's skill. This is a good competitive list, but could possibly be done better. But that means that this is both a good list and a good player. I had this list to be a 3.5. So if you guys are following along with my list rankings, this is a 3.5 for me. Here we go. And then right after Merrick, who did we have? We had Philip, right? Oh, sorry, I'm messing around here. Philip. Philip. Right, Philip had brought Canadians, 12 order dice, again, low order dice count, right? Inexperienced lieutenant, 2 infantry sections with LMGs because they have full strength. The free observer, tank hunter section with double P-heads, which may have come in handy with the amount of tanks we saw at WarSaw. Another full strength infantry section, medium mortar, light arty, staghound. Love me some staghounds. Canadian Steward, so this is a late War Steward with a lot of pintle mounted, so it's not the darker version. It's got reinforced armor, so it's 9+ in the front, making it sort of a medium tank. Still only got a light anti-tank gun though. A light mortar team and a Bofors. So again, this is not what I would consider the top level of competitiveness. I wrote this down as a 3 rank, but again, this speaks to the skill of the player who knows his list, who knows what they're doing. So the rest of us can just sit here and say, well, that may be not the best list, but it is a really competitive list, and if they know what they're doing, they can win tournaments. And the final player was Peter. Right. Let's go and watch Peter's list. Here we go. So Peter had brought a German platoon, 12 order dice. So for anyone who says that we can't do well with Germans, these guys are proving us wrong. We have a 9 order dice and a 12 order dice German list in the top 5. That is really well done. So this one had a lieutenant, and then it had Schützens. So the Schützen are really cool, and if you allow them, you may be able to take the machine gun for free, which is very, very cool. So basically spamming 3 Schützen here and a Pioneer squad, flamethrower, and LMG because it's a large squad, I think. That may have no, it is a full strength squad, so the LMG is for free. Medium mortar, anti-tank rifle, so lots of LMGs, lots of German LMGs. If you're going to go and get yourself some LMGs, then yeah, the Jugger pack. Take the German LMGs, right? Anti-tank rifle team, medium artillery, the half-track without any guns, inexperienced, so just a 6+ half-track. Light armored car, the 222, which is really good, although it is open-topped. A Panzer III with the medium anti-tank gun, 9+ reinforced armor. So sort of a heavy tank, 200 points, yeah. And a half-track with a Panzerbuscher. So double half-tracks to transport his infantry if they need to go forward. Otherwise, they're really good skirmishers. They can just sit in the back line and shoot. Really, really good list, a good skirmishing list, and sort of has a little bit of the Death Star going in with the reinforced Panzer III, right? So that was the top lists. That was what they were doing. For me, that is way off on my predictions, but I'll get to that in a minute. I did have Barry and to go in the top, but the rest of them are all surprises for me. The bottom, unfortunately, the double air observer Americans that we talked about, that was a hit and miss, and it missed. I don't know how many times the air observers got to fire their airplanes and get them to come in and shoot the enemy, but yeah, didn't work. The tournament did not work out for that list. Also, not surprisingly, there was one list that I mentioned that had a Goliath and a Tiger that came bottom as well. There was a Kugelblitz list, which I had thought of as a 3. It had a Panzer Sistora unit as well, which, yeah, with a lot of Death Stars coming in, that could also have worked. Didn't. Um, then we had a Soviet soda tank list, which I thought would do much better. Did not. And a Panzer IV Death Star list, which again did not do terribly well. So the Death Stars were not a surprise for me. That the Kugelblitz and the Soviets ended up down here is a bit of a surprise. The double air observer could have gone either way. Could have been top, could have been bottom. So it ended up bottom. Right. So my predictions for the top 5, just to remind you, was that Barry and Christoph and Jarima and Jakub and Andrea, they came top. They did not really, and that Christoph was one of the dropouts, so he disappeared from this ranking. So I still think that he could have done well. Jarima, he came 10th, which is okay, but not top 5. Jakub came 8th, which is again okay. So I'm pretty proud of those two. Barry, of course, came first. I'm also pretty proud of that one, of picking out that one. And Drave, I had thought he would do way better. He came 14th, so middle of the pack. Yeah, that I didn't catch that one. And I had definitely not thought that the two Germans would end up there. For Pete, who also made his predictions, he had Barry and Christoph. Of course, Christoph was a dropout. Then you had Maciej, who also sort of struck out and didn't do well, and Tadeusz, who of course struck out and didn't do well. I suspect that Maciej had not really fought for all he was worth, because he was the TO and he was forced to play anyway, and because they had an odd number, so he was playing as a TO, and you don't want to win your own tournaments, right? So Topher also predicted Christoph to be in the top. He of course dropped out. Mateusz Popek, he came 22nd, so Topher was way off on him. Piotr, he came 15th, middle of the pack. Rafael, he came 17th, again, middle of the pack. And Michael, who had brought a Schützen Spam and Tiger, he came 25th. So Topher's predictions were not as accurate, but still, yeah. Here at the end, I just wanted to talk you through, because for each round I also made predictions for myself, more or less. And out of 17 tables, just going off of my list ranking, could I predict who would win at a certain table? And for the first round, they had 17 tables. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 7 right out of 17, so not particularly well. Second round, and again, this is just me predicting based on lists. Remember, I've talked about this before. I made a whole video on this. I had a long internet debate with a guy. Can you predict this based on lists? Are lists the most important factor? I think this speaks to lists. Maybe either one thing. I'm not good at evaluating lists, which could be a thing. I'm not good at evaluating the Polish meta, which could be a thing. Or the players are more important. Because round 2 out of 17 tables, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I again had only 7 right based on list ranking. Third round, I was more accurate in the third round, and I'm guessing that that is down to the players being sort of weeded down, so they're more evenly matched in the third round, I guess. Could be a thing. So, and if you're evenly matched, if you're sort of on the same level of skill, then your list becomes more important, I guess, maybe. But out of 17, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I had 10 right based on lists alone. So not conclusive, but a little bit of extra information for my continuing quest to see if I can figure out what's more important, skill or list. And for this, well, If I am accurate at predicting lists and ranking lists, then lists are not the most important factor, although they do become important once you get into evenly matched players. Right. That was WarSaw 2023. Thank you so much for watching, and congratulations to the winners, and thank you for everyone who participated. I hope you had so much fun. Cheers.